towers, but they never wanted to fight Alliance. They never wanted to contest any dragons. They lost 5 out of 6 dragons against Alliance. Therefore, fell very far behind in gold and couldn't actually do anything. And I have to question their decision-making in the game because they picked Jarvan in a comp where you actually want to kite because they had Ziggs and Jinx. And yet that Jarvan kind of out of place because Source as well, he built full tank on Gragas. So they didn't really have any all-in potential with like a Gragas on a Jarvan. And Jinx and Ziggs, they kind of want to kite and have Alliance engage on them. So it was a bit of a weird comp from Fnatic, and they didn't know what to do because they actually never tried to engage onto Alliance.
And we also had Froggen, of course, yesterday talking about the build possibilities that obviously Soaz builds on that Gragas, as saying, you know, it kind of hampered them because they had Aurelia. It was going to do a lot more damage, and of course the tank wasn't enough. Millenium, though, on the other side, played an impressive game yesterday against the Copenhagen Wolves, running an unorthodox Yasuo in the top lane for Kevin and Zilean in the mid lane for Kerb, which fitted their team comp superbly. It was a great play from Jerry at Dragon that set them up for the game.
And it was such a good game by Millenium. Very aggressive play, and they really used this mid-game comp well because they knew as soon as we hit Death Gap on our Zilean mid lane, we just look for team fights, and it worked for them. The hook coming in from Jerry, of course, set up the ulti from Kevin, and then your double bomb from Kerb to just destroy Copenhagen Wolves. And Kerb on Zilean itself was actually a pretty cool pick because Millenium is such an aggressive team and they know how to close out games. And then you have Yasuo in the top lane. You don't actually need a tank when you have a Zilean because you have this ulti. So Kevin could go all in, get the bombs from Kerb, and then stay alive or get back to life if Kerb wanted to at least give him the ult here. And now they go into a very important game against Fnatic because both these teams have a chance of securing second place, of course. Millenium are 2 wins behind Fnatic at the moment, and if they win here, we go into Super Week with a very close race between Millenium, super hot crew, Fnatic, even SK Gaming, who just won today. All the teams will be battling for this number 2 spot, which means you go straight into the semi-final. You skip the quarterfinals if you do get top 2 in the league, so it's very important for these teams.
Yeah, that Super Week could be massive for both these teams. Of course, Millenium and Fnatic, they are both wary of each other's aggressive gameplay. And while Cyanide is concerned about Kerb in the mid lane, the team hopes their coach, Aaron Nair, can give the edge over his former teammates.
Fnatic, they are like probably the best team at the moment in Europe, so it will be a really hard game to win against them.
Millenium is always this team that normally you don't think that they are really good, but sometimes they have really surprising results. Like especially I think their mid laner, he's a really skilled player, so if he gets ahead it can be a real pain, so he can almost carry along.
They play lots more aggressive than most other teams, and especially the support and the top lane just move around the map way more often than any other.
We don't prepare different versus Millenium like we do against any other team. We always have the same sort of rhythm lately with Arena. Of course, he has some general insight about this guy can carry a game if he gets rolling, or this guy has troubles if he gets camped.
He tells us some stuff, and it's kind of helpful because he knows how some guys are in the team, and if you pick on them, they will get mad or other, so it's really good. So I think we have to prepare extra time for them because they are so good. So we find a weakness in their team.
Yeah, dirty little insight that Aaron Nair has given over his former teammates to Fnatic. Not sure whether they needed it, but it's also always a helping hand.
Always helps. I mean, Millenium looked very good lately. I did talk with them before the game, and they have their own little tactic. It's called Camp Reckless. And just destroy him, and then he's completely out of the game, and they will win.
We'll see how it works.
It's their tactic, not mine.
Let's check the starting lineups for these two teams. Over on the blue side, it's Fnatic. That means in the top lane, we have Soaz. In the jungle, it is Cyanide. Peke in the mid lane, Reckless as AD carry, and Yellowstar on support.
On the red side, Millenium with Kevin in the top lane, Codnex in the jungle, Kerb of course is the mid laner, Creaton on AD carry, and Jerry on support.
So many of you know that due to Lucian's rework in 4.12 patch, he is currently banned in the LCS. So we want to draw your attention to both the AD carries Reckless and Creaton, who have been excelling on other champions in their roles.
And if we start with Reckless, then we can of course look at his Vayne. He went 18-0 against the Wolves last week, and he's currently undefeated on Vayne, played 3 games, and he's picked up 32 kills, died once, and he also has 16 assists. Pretty impressive stats here. Creaton, he's preferred to play Corki instead, and we saw him also destroy the Wolves Those that don't really like these AD carries. Yesterday, he went 10-1 and 7. He's played it 4 times and sick numbers as well, like 37 kills here. Only died a few times. 35 assists on Corgi as well. So brilliant performance by both the AD carries. And it's really safe to say they are among the top 80 carries here in Europe, and they have shown before, even without Lucian, they can carry games for the team.
Yeah, it's great to see, you know, Kraton back to his best, back to his former self. Before he broke his arm way back in 2013, of course. They were a shot at getting into the Worlds back in Season 3. Can they do it in 2014? Let's check to see who you guys think is favorite. According to LOLesports.com, well, no surprises. The Fnatic fan base has come out in force. They are 80% ahead in the vote.
Again, if you do ignore the loss from yesterday, 8-game win streak, and looking fantastic. We kept talking about how Fnatic now always know when to play really well, heading into Super Week, heading into playoffs. They will be the favorites, but against Millenium, you never really know here. If we see Cillian mid again, and then Millenium just trying to snowball the game, good work.
Every time I think of these two teams when they face each other, I think back to the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice, that big long slog they had. I think it was a 60, 70-minute game. And honestly, either team could have won that back then.
I feel like it's the old Millenium style, where they like to play the long, drawn-out games. Again, remember promotion tournament against NIP.
Oh, good lord.
7 hours for best out of 5. Like, it was very, very long. But now the new one here is more like all or nothing. Just go and see if we can win. If not, well...
They are a team that loves the fight, that's for sure. And that's what I like to see. That's what I like to cast. Let's see how it works out. Cillian ban!
Oh.
Wow. You're not getting that one, Kerp. Straight away. Plays it once, banned from him ever for life.
I feel like it's a little bit like banning Riven against Shook. We don't really know how to deal with it, so we're just going to ban it. Not going to take any chances. And Fnatic, of course, are on the blue side, so don't have to ban the Kassadin.
Millenium not making the same mistake. They ban out Kassadin, making sure that's taken away. Aatrox banned out. Kevin, well, he didn't favour it too much yesterday. Of course, the Yasuo was the consideration for him, but that was, I feel, potentially a one-off tactic. I don't think they're going to run with that one this time around.
Let's see here. Oh, Syndra being taken away.
That's a big one.
Yeah, fun fact here. The last, or 2 times this split, Fnatic has actually played Syndra against Kerp because they like to put a lane bully against him to try and shut him down the laning phase. Because Millenium are a team who rely a lot on Kerp getting a good start in his laning phase. So if you do play a lane bully against him and you manage to shut him down, you shut down the entire Millenium.
Fizzban maybe from Fnatic here. Let's see.
Fizzban. Twisted Fate is open
No,
as well.
Lee Sin. That's
Maybe
an
Expector
interesting
wants
one.
to play Fizz.
Well, Cotnix is very, very strong on Lee Sin, that's for sure. So well worth the ban against him. Has 8 wins in 11 games on Lee Sin. So, of course, we saw him playing it yesterday to great effect. Final ban for Millenium. What are they going to go with? Well, they ban out the Fizz.
Okay, so because Fnatic didn't ban away Fizz, Millenium here expect them to actually first pick it and don't want to take the risk. Twisted Fate is open. Gragas is open for Source in the top lane. Lulu could be an option too. And then Evelynn, if they take Evelynn instead of Gragas, with Elise being open as well, with Rengar, Jarvan, whatever junglers we have, I feel like it's a mistake from Fnatic here.
It's a big favorite, though, for Cyanide. He has got 6 wins in 7 games on Evelynn. It is his, I guess you could say, most successful jungler. So
True.
Following, it's no surprises. Maybe it's just making a comfort pit for him.
But still, I mean, you could have gotten a Gragas here. Okay, if Millenium doesn't actually play Gragas, maybe Fnatic has scouted them well enough to say Kevin clearly doesn't play Gragas. But I know in the mid lane, okay, never mind. It has actually already been locked in there. So you do give away currently the #1 top pick. If you ask multiple top laners to get a comfort pick on your jungler, sure, if Sana goes crazy in this game here, it could work out. But there's a lot of jungle options open still for someone like Cotnix to pick.
The irony is, while people do count him as the #1 top pick, it's not actually been that successful. There's been a lot of counters to him. We'll see whether maybe Soaz, who, if anyone has something up their sleeve, it will be him, as a counter to it. Thresh, of course, was picked for J-Ree. We've seen him in Hook City with Blitzcrank before and had some great games. Yesterday, of course, on Thresh was the big key catalyst to that big fight that happened. So, Lulu and Kog'Maw picked in. Kog'Maw's been banned out a couple of times today.
Yeah.
Rectus is going to get his hands on that one.
Just overall, one of the strongest AD carries. We have good laning phase. Even your mid game is fine if you do build Trinity Force into Blade. And of course, your late game, we know, you're an absolute beast. And with this Lulu here, I expect it to be top lane for Source against Gragas, because if you do take Lulu mid against Kerp, you won't apply a lot of pressure onto him. It's better to get it top lane here, can farm against Gragas, and then both will bring utility when it comes to team fights.
So Twisted Fate is still available, remember. So we'll see whether anyone wants to go for that one. Elise and Corki currently being hovered over by Millenium. They would be, I would say, standard choices, honestly, for either team at this stage. Corki being great success. We said that crazy stat, 37, 335 or something like that for Creaton. Rengar locked in.
Nice.
That's going to be Cornex in the jungle.
Finally.
Wow, finally indeed. Of course, Dandy ran it to massive success the other day. Spirit running it today over in the OGN. So big pick in Korea. Honestly, probably one of the #1 jungle picks currently.
Yeah.
And actually, they all playing pretty aggressively. Spirit today went full defensive, though.
Yeah, so normally you go Feral Flare, and then you have two options.
Yeah.
Either you go like full damage from there, and you try to assassinate people. If you do wanna, if you have a pick comp and you like to split push around, you can go to full assassin Ringer and just try and get kills, pick people off who's pushing the lanes. Otherwise, you can go full tank after you Feral Flare and just focus on engaging team fights. You get a lot of cooldown reduction. You basically just become the main engage, and it's so hard to avoid Ringer's engage because he stealths and then he jumps towards you and he roots you with his E, and you're just locked in. The rest of Millenium can then follow up here. Again, you got the hook from Jerry. Kevin can knock you back into the team here, so a lot of engage potential for Millenium.
So, Zyra pulled back out for Yellow Star. It's a champion he favored a long time ago, but more importantly, this is the big one. Peke, if you were to look at him right now, played a lot last night on Ahri.
Spammed it last night, and we saw Selfie play both games this week here. It's very, very strong pick. Got a small change here in 4.12. Less mana cost on Q and slightly better AP ratio, so small buff here. But generally, it works really well as this mage assassin. Again, also with the Fiend's nerfs we saw some patches ago, and land a charm, land your DFG, and it's bye-bye.
Well, it looks like he may be Gragas in the middle, so he will be a little bit more tankier. That, of course, would put Kevin onto potentially Shyvana at the moment. They're discussing it to see what they want to go with. Shyvana, I wouldn't say a terribly strong pick for Kevin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe going to switch here. Aurelia, though, against the Lulu. That's a tricky lane.
Yeah, let's see how he wants to handle it here. Of course, with the range advantage for Lulu, but Aurelia does have the option to actually jump onto him and try and pressure him. So, and with also the sustain on Aurelia, I'm not too sure if Kevin is going to be in too much trouble. And he also plays a lot of Aurelia, so he will know the matchup really well. And if you look at the side of Fnatic, they're gone for a bit of a mix in the combo. So you have Ahri and Evelynn to kind of pick people off.
A lot of magic damage.
There's a lot of magic damage, and then you have like the potential to pick people off with Ahri and Evelynn. And then you also have Lulu and Zyra now to protect Reckless in these team fights. So you got a bit of everything here from the side of Fnatic, except for a lot of physical damage, which you don't have. It's all about Reckless here and his auto attacks. The rest is pure magic, so it means Millenium can stack a lot of magic resist here and make it very hard for Fnatic to actually kill them in these team fights.
Well, ironically, they are both teams that love to do pick comps, and it seems like they're going to try and do it once again, of course. With the picks now in, which one of our featured AD carries do you think will go OP? Tweet at LOL Esports and use the hashtag Reckless or hashtag Creaton, and we'll check out the results in game. Of course, that is Kog'Maw versus Corki. Corki stats for Creaton are unbelievable. I'm trying to think of the Kog'Maw stats. I can't remember too often for Reckless. It's interesting. I love the fact now that Lucian is now off the cards. For now, we'll be back. We'll be back soon. But it has opened up a number of options for AD carries. And suddenly we're seeing variety.
Yeah, we even saw Jinx yesterday. We haven't seen her in a while. We don't really see Twitch here in Europe.
Yeah, which is strange because it's still considered the #1 pick over in Korea.
At least one of them over in Korea. They love to play it.
Kog'Maw generally banned out as well.
It just seems Korea, they favor really the pick style a bit more, and they play a more aggressive version than we do here in Europe. It's more of like safe pick styles you have. But let's see what Fnatic can do with this. Are in the mid lane from Peke.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Final game of Week 10. Super Week looms. Fnatic currently second place on the table as the blue side, up against Millenium, third place in the standings, chasing hard on Fnatic. A win here would be wonderful for them. Kevin almost forgot to buy there and decided to last minute get it.
And a lot of mid-game focus here from Millenium. You have Corki, who's really good in the mid-game once you get your Trinity Force. Same goes for Aurelia. Her big power spike is once she completes Trinity Force, and then she can actually jump your squishy members and 100% to zero them very, very easily. And then normally build tank afterwards, so you can now become this tank in the late game team fights, but you won't really be able to kill people by yourself when you go late. And the same thing can be said actually about most of the members on Millenium side. Gragas, a bit of the same deal. He is very, very strong, especially in the mid-game points, but real late game, he doesn't have the same scalings he used to have. We have, of course, seen the full AP Gragas destroy people anyway, just a little bit harder than before. So Millenium, a lot of focus on this mid-game, where Fnatic can afford to go late, mainly due to Reckless.
Yellowstar went very far forward to get a little bit of information in that top lane. Give them some vision. Did, of course, get that ward in the tri-bush, so they saw that Kevin was indeed in that top. It is going to be a red buff start. And remember, Fnatic went pretty aggressive on the red buff yesterday against Alliance, and maybe that is why Millenium are playing so defensive right now in this top half of the jungle.
We do actually see Fnatic.
Ooh, it's a late
don't
invade.
want to do anything. Reckless down this bottom lane, so Millenium might be able to...
This is a delayed invade, absolutely. They're going to go straight across the ward, though.
Yeah, they spotted his Signet still. Thing I know he's going to move away from his own blue buff, and instantly Fnatic ping Millenium's blue buff. They already have the dual lane down there, so they can move up. Yellowstar being sent in to just ward it and make sure Cotnex didn't start his own blue buff.
And look at Reckless holding the lane. Keeping it.
Oh, lovely little trick.
Just off at the side there.
And notice here how now every single minion is actually hitting the very first minion from Reckless, and therefore he will now start pushing towards Reckless, and he can freeze the lane. It's the reason he move in, group the enemy minions, it's like just punch pile them together, so they will target your very first minion, and therefore started a small freeze now. If he keeps it frozen, he can just stay there for the next 10 minutes.
Well, we'll see if he lets it go or not. At the moment, though, blue buff was picked up by Cotnex, and that's going to continue around. Took the Wraith down, so he's going to go up towards it. Are we going to see some good old 4-0 maneuvers? At the moment, buddy system well in effect for both Millenium and Fnatic, as Reckless continues to freeze out that top lane, bottom lane.
Definitely not going to see 4-0 in this bottom lane because he's freezing the lane. So he doesn't even want to get close to this tower at this point. And Yellowstar probably doesn't want to get his level 2, and then he can move away from the lane. They're actually going to be a very, very early dragon Fnatic here. Nobody from Millenium is even close, so it should be a fairly easy dragon now.
Yeah, the shield, of course, from Soaz on Cyanide will help out on this one. You can see Yellowstar trying to dodge in and out. It is focusing back and forward. Oh, it did finally hit Cyanide, so it's not quite working out. There's the shield. That's going to be enough. Yellowstar doing what he can. And basically, all he's doing right now is basically juggling aggro. The idea is, if you can do it right, nobody gets hit.
Yeah, because you only level 2
it's working
at this
out.
point.
Look, they're barely getting hit.
It took a few hits, but still, they're going to get it. And once when you are level 2, you're going to take so much damage from the dragon, so it's way too risky to just standard tank it, so you have to do this dance here. Normally, when we do have these lane swaps, we actually see the team who's in the top side send the support, the jungler, and top lane down towards the dragon to make sure you don't start at very early dragon, because if Millenium had been nearby, they would have been able to stop Fnatic, maybe even pick up a kill. However, because they started the Fnatic blue buff, they moved to their own red buff, they were way too far away, way too slow, and Fnatic could take the very easy dragon.
The gank attempt, oh dear, that stood right on top of a ward. Kevin and Jerry, that's not going to work out for them. So pressure on the tower actually in the top lane. Looks like Creaton is going to start pushing this one in. Cotnex was finally about to go back. Well, he's going to, of course, go for the Madreds. Creaton just happy to hold on, not pushing too heavily on the tower. They're happy to just hold these waves, both top and bottom. And that's going to cause problems for now Kevin and Soaz as they finally return to lane.
And this is a smart thing about the Millenium lane swap. Against Evelynn, it's always good to lane swap because you kind of remove her stealth pressure. She's now either forced to just sit and farm in a jungle or roam around as a group, which you're going to spot anyway, move towards your lanes to actually set up a gank or push out of lanes. You won't really be able to just gank like we normally see Evelynn if it's standard lanes. Where also now Cotnex gets some time to just sit and farm because nothing is really happening in any of the lanes due to both AD carries freezing.
Well, we've had a long time looking across all the lanes. We haven't had a chance to talk about this mid lane pairing that Kerp and Peke are running. So often, as you mentioned, it has been Syndra a couple of times for Peke against Kerp. They need to lock him down. Kerp did go back and get himself the triple Thorns and put a pink ward, actually, just in that side bush. Peke teleporting back to lane, something we also didn't mention, by the way. Goes for the Fiendish Codex first instead of the Holy Grail, that is the Chalice.
The Chalice, yeah, okay. So doesn't want the mana region early here, but Kerp, triple Thorns, full focus on the lane, get some extra HP as well, so the all-in potential from Xpeke becomes pretty much a non-factor here early on until Expected can pick up a DFG. He won't be able to take down Curb by himself unless Curb really misplays it. Cyanide, however, moving down towards this bottom lane. Reckless will push in a massive wave. It's all about now denying the farm away from Kevin. Millenium, however, have already sent Jerry and Cotnex down towards this bottom side, so they know there's a chance of Fnatic to try and move into this tower here and force Kevin away, because he needs all this farm here, otherwise he will fall very far behind.
You do see Curb shoving in. I'm not sure whether Pink Ward spotted Cyanide or not. I don't think it did. It would have given a warning sign to Cyanide that there is a Pink Ward nearby, and he would have hunted that out immediately. He's going to be taking his Wraiths. We do see Cotnex continuing his path as well. It was interesting to get a chance to discuss players, builds, items with these players. We did get Cotnex, of course, up on the couch yesterday as we were watching this Fnatic Alliance game yesterday.
Notice Source up in his top lane. He's just sitting in the bush, getting XP from the minions, but he doesn't actually get any farm, which is a big issue for him. He needs to go in, push the wave out into the tower of Millenium, reset it, so he can actually get some farm here. For now, he's just waiting. Seems though Kraton decided actually to push it down, so he will get the farm. Yesterday against Alliance, he didn't do it. He waited in the bush for like a minute, didn't get a single CS, got some experience, but it meant he fell so far behind compared to Wicked and couldn't actually do anything on Gragas. Had to build full tank. He is slightly behind compared to Kevin, but this time around he did actually get the minions down towards him, so it paid off for him to wait. Got some XP, got some farm, didn't take any damage either.
Well, Blue Buff about to respawn, and Cyanide is there, ready and waiting. Yellow Star also going to come around. Look at this though, J-Ree is going to come around the side, spots it with a plant, the Pink Ward. Now Cotnex is nearby. It's going to be a smite fight, and I think Millenium are going to win it because Fnatic will back out and play it safe.
Alright, so Fnatic just moving in to see how many members from Millenium are nearby. Seems like there's a lot. Oh, interrupting Yellow Star. Doesn't actually want to go for it, just be annoying. Blue Buff over the curb, so while it's not standard lanes yet, we do have AD carry versus top lane up in the top side. And then this bottom lane, it's actually Kevin playing with Jerry just to make sure. Jerry's only there to make sure Kevin won't be in a situation where the lane once again will freeze and Reckless can just deny Kevin all the farm. So Jerry needs to stay nearby so Kevin can get all the farm he needs. Yes, they do share the XP, but still, now it's about the farm.
Blue Buff will go across the Peke. Blue Buff went across the Kerp already as well. So, the farm race will begin in this mid lane as the Wraiths will start to fall. Both of them will be aiming for it. Dragon's up in a minute. And of course, that was picked up by Fnatic and the early start. Grasping route on towards J-Ree. Kevin trying to show some aggression there. Actually gets a ton of damage back on him from Reckless and Yellow Star for the pleasure of dashing forward.
Cotnex did hit his level 6 now. Picked up red buff. Moving towards this top lane, but Sonnet is already there. So maybe now Fnatic are expecting Millenium to set something up. Level 7 on Corki, so he's Kraton at the moment is very, very strong. They did actually spot Cotnex, he just cleared the ward.
Tower's going to go. That's the last hit. And there is the first tower. Kraton will take that down for Millenium. The backup was there. It wasn't required. Soaz has to step away from this now defenseless lane. Kraton will clear out this wave and back off to buy. So
he didn't actually push the wave out here.
Well, we'll see whether he wants to stick around there. It looks like the bottom lane are both backing off as well. So seems that Kevin is going to change lane. And that will be the AD carries now heading down towards the bottom. So Phage and Sheen were picked up by Kraton on that back.
Alright, so what Source is doing here, he's actually pushing the wave back because he wants to recall before a potential dragon fight. He does have teleport, but if he joins in now, he only has 2 Dawn's rings, so he won't be able to do too much. So you want to push the wave in, get Kevin to join in for this top lane, and then they can either both use the teleport down towards this dragon, or Source might have time to actually go back, wait for his team to delay the dragon, and then run towards it. So he's just pushing it into the tower here, so smart move by Source. And also, I guess the reason Kraton didn't actually bother pushing it all the way out, because he knew there was a high chance Source would just push it back anyway.
I think he wanted to give some CS to his top laner as well, maybe, who knows. Got himself that Phage, so as he's going to shove that wave, as you mentioned, Kevin should be able to hold this one fairly easily and clean out the CS. The question is, how quick did Fnatic react? How quick did they go for that dragon? Will they dash straight for it? Kevin wipes out this wave, no problems there. He's going to get every little bit of CS. Cotnex is going to try and make a play. Stealth goes in. He's going to get on towards Yellow Star, spots him out, pounces, gets the root down on him. Yellow Star in trouble and just gets destroyed for a simple first blood for Millenium.
The ganks from Ringo are so strong. He jumps towards you, instantly just roots you in place, and then Jerry can follow up, create him with all the damage. Yellowstar had only one choice. Flash instantly as he saw the mark above his head, but you don't even know if you're going to be the target here. It's very, very hard to deal with Ringo once he actually ganks after level 6. So good setup. Millenium, however, because it was only Yellowstar they killed, didn't feel like they could actually go towards the dragon.
Yeah, Millenium, they had a ward on it, so they know that it's up, they know the timer's on it. Of course, they had the vision, so they did have enough to go for it, but instead don't choose to. Soaz back in his top lane. Triple Doran's ring was picked up along with the Fiendish Codex. Mellanonomicon now picked up by Peke and completed. Rod of Ages meanwhile, so it looks like Kerb. Is he going to rush that death cap again?
Seems like it. I mean, yesterday on Zillion, it was because he died to the first spot, bought Triple Doran's ring, and he was like, no reason for me to go Fiends now. I need some AP, I need more AP instantly to be strong in the mid game, so he went straight for death cap. Might do the same thing here. On this Vargas, I mean, there's not really... He could go Hourglass against an Ahri, but with all the magic damage on the side of Fnatic, the armor itself won't really do anything.
Yeah, Abyssal Scepters all round, maybe. We'll see how it works out for him.
Banshees for everyone.
Banshees for everyone, indeed. So, still Fnatic, the favourites in the vote. No surprises. The Fnatic fan base is very strong. Ward's going to get swept out and cleaned by CottonX. And now Millenium, are they going to try and go for it? CottonX is backing off, actually. Fnatic are grouping. We do still see the two top laners, of course. Both could interrupt one another. And it's Fnatic that are going to move in for the second dragon. Just the second CottonX backed off.
Yeah, simply means Millenium probably have to give it up. They're actually staying around. Kerb might want to try and steal it.
Nope, not going to happen. Explosive cast come in. It was actually Yellowstar that got it, so it was close. It was close. It wasn't the smite from Cyanide that finished the job.
Huh, and they actually tried to teleport down with Kevin to start a fight and hope CottonX could join in time while Source had teleport himself. So a bit of a aggressive move here by Millenium, but it was all about CottonX recalling. Fnatic started at the same time, even though they didn't actually see him recall. And now he's down this bottom lane. Oh, Yellowstar could be the target again.
It's a sneaky cat. Yellowstar caught out and just blown up once again. These are gifting the kills for Kraton.
Again, Yellowstar, same deal. Unless you flash instantly while you see the mark above your head, which you normally don't, so you don't really have a choice.
He wouldn't have seen him there that time because he came out of the bush and he was just completely unseen, even with his ultimate. Didn't he need that to bounce straight in there?
It is so hard to deal with, and you are so squishy as a support early on here. You're just an easy target for Millenium. 2 kills now on to Kraton on Corki. He keeps racking off the kills on this champion. Now Kevin might be in trouble. Flash is ready.
Aghanim Embrace goes down. There is the flash from Kevin. I think he's going to be doing enough. You can see the heat spike's not quite damaging on towards him, and Kevin is safe. Kraton takes down the second turret of the game for Millenium. Top one already down. And Millenium starting to build a small lead over Fnatic here.
This top lane, however, Kevin being forced back means they actually evened it out in CS. There's no teleport on side of Kevin, so he's going to lose a massive wave up in his top side, while Source does have his teleport ready. They didn't actually want to push the tower, even though both Sanad and Source was in the top lane. Not sure if the minions are going to kill it by themselves. Would surprise me a little bit. Not even close.
Not even close. Death Cap picked up by Kerb. Another Fiendish Codex, by the way, picked up by Peke. I guess he's going to go into the Athenes this time around. We'll see where that continues to go. Kevin.
Oh no, it's going to be a DFG now.
Back in, of course it will be, yes, DFG. It's just going to try and blow people up. That's when things are starting to step themselves up. Still only a 2-0 game and very, very tight in gold. Despite, of course, the Dragons going the way of Fnatic with those 2 turrets down. Millenium looking to try and start some pressure. That death sentence, if it had been on point, would have landed on Peke. That would have been serious trouble.
He would have died instantly. I mean, there was Old Radiant Kerb, Ignite as well. Actually using it on Yellowstar here, he's really been the guy. Everyone from Millenium just want to join in, picking on Yellowstar.
Well, he does kind of make a lot of the calls, and if you can disrupt his game, maybe that's what they're planning. It's all well and good for Fnatic in the advice from Aranea. Maybe there's a bit going back the other way.
So we do have to stay down this bottom lane where Yellowstar died twice. What you need to do against Rengar, he's going to take it afterwards. He's actually going in for another gank. He wants to Soaz.
Going for Soaz this time around. He's a tanky target though. He did run out, and so did the stun. It missed actually on towards him. Stun will be back up in a moment. Strangle Thorns will pop off. Kevin caught out on that one. He gets slowed with the Glitterlance. Soaz can finish him off here. He's going to continue chasing. Should be able to speed himself up. Can he get on towards, get another Glitterlance? Flashes on towards him, gets him.
So CottonX here stealth a little bit too early. Source, he started running back as soon as he figured something is up here because Kevin moved aggressively forward towards him. Backed away, stealth ran out. There was no jump from CottonX. He didn't actually manage to land his CC and they couldn't get the kill. Kerp is trying to bait out something from Xpeke here. Could potentially have flash body slammed.
Spirit Rush comes in, barrel rolls back out, not going to land, and now Kerp having to get away. That tower will hit him. Cyanide gets on towards him, puts the Aghanis Embrace down actually. Not sure what he was hoping to achieve with the follow-up there.
So again, if you just go back to Rengar here and how you avoid the ganks from him, you need deep wards. A bit like
And
warding.
speed.
Also some speed could help, but like warding, like you ward against a Nocturne, deep inside the enemy jungle. My voice once again.
You just can't. You're just emotional. That's what it is. You're emotionally.
It just makes me so sad to see support die. I mean.
Fnatic though, they're going to get themselves the first turret of the game. It will be the top one. And Reckless will get that. We haven't seen a great deal from the AD carries other than Kraton basically picking up free kills down that bottom lane. In terms of farm, it is a big advantage starting to build up by Kraton. Of course, those kills have given him that Trinity Force earlier on, but Reckless now with that completed. So where do these two stand? I mean, Kevin's going to freeze the lane here, by the way, on your screen. Where do these two stand? Because they're both equally fed. Who is stronger? Because we're going to hit, what, 20-minute spike, maybe even the 18-minute spike when the next Dragon fight comes around.
Yeah.
And I expect both teams probably want to contest that this time around.
But it's where Millenium needs to win the fight because they have this mid-game setup. You got Trinity Force completed on Corgi, so you have the first mid-game power spike. Kevin should be able to get his Trinity Force in time as well, and that's where you're going to be so strong on the side of Millenium, and also Kerp rushing this death cap after the triple Thorn.
Yellow Star.
So a lot of invested into this mid-game now from Millenium. They need to win the Dragon fight if Fnatic want to try and contest it, because if they do go late game, they might be in trouble.
They knew it. They'd spotted a ward, luckily. And Millenium do back away. As the ultimate pops by Cotnex, he's stealthed up, but he's not going to go for it. So ultimate wasted. That's not going to work out for them. Of course, they wanted to make that pick. Dragon is up in 40 seconds time. Kevin's going to shove the top wave and teleport down while Soaz has already joined them down here. Kerp is going to come down. It's a 4-on-4 pylon on this turret right now. J-Reek goes in, flash, flay on towards Soaz. Soaz locked up. Wild growth, not quite be enough. Shields himself up. Can he get away? No. Kraton will get himself the kill. It's a revenge kill though for Reckless. He gets himself one. He gets himself two. And Millenium are floundering and forced back once again.
And everything was invested onto Source here. They managed to kill him, but then the rest of Fnatic were just saying, fine, we're just going to pick up 2 kills on our hyper carry. Xpeke didn't even join in, still has ulti ready. And Cotnex, he used ulti in the bush before, so he didn't even do anything in this fight. He just ran in, died, and Fnatic might be able to take a tower here.
Yeah, that teleport did not work out too well there. J-Reek needs to land a perfect death sentence. Remember, Kerp does still have that barrel available, so even a Dragon now is a risky maneuver. Of course, it is only 18 minutes into the game, so this death time is incredibly short. They're both already up. Peke has the Spirit Rush around, putting a lot of damage down. J-Reek caught out with Reckless once again. Sniping him in the bush. That almost certainly will be the Dragon for Fnatic once again.
Dragon here, even teleport on Source in case they need it. Cotnex is nearby. Might be in trouble here.
He's caught out. Grasping Root gets on towards him, and he's got not enough damage. Then Cyanide comes in, gets himself the kill. It is a revenge from Kerp. He managed to use that barrel and take down Cyanide just off of the side. Kerp thinking of continuing. Kevin's like, guys, I'm back. But it's too late. And Fnatic, they could push on the tower.
And notice all the wards around the Dragon here from Fnatic. They know everything Millenium is doing, so they could spot them move from the tower towards the Dragon, land a charm from Peke, going for another fight here, got another kill for Reckless. Just a lot of good wards around this Dragon area at the right time for Fnatic. It also helps you get 2 kills early on, where Millenium actually tried to kill Source, but they invested too much onto him. There was no ulti for Cotnex. He wasted it in the bush here. And Millenium couldn't even fight.
I wonder how key it was, the fact that Kevin couldn't get that Trinity Force completed. He's got the 3-item recipe, but hasn't quite got the completion as he came into that fight. I wonder if that was a big part of it. Cotnex now. Actually, it's not going to go for the kill. Yellow Star. Not again, Yellow Star, don't do it. Reckless almost certainly is going to be the focus. Stealths up, gets on towards him, gets the slowdown, but look at the turnaround damage. Reckless on him, will get shut down. Can the Cathian surprise get on towards Cotnex? He's running for his life. Not quite enough. And Millenium do manage to get down that hyper carry.
So this time, Yellow Star flashed away and just left Reckless to die. He was like, I'm done dying. Go die, my lovely and beautiful. I was about to call him beautiful lady carry. I do not have a man crush on Reckless.
Just Cyanide.
Just Cyanide.
So as in the bottom lane, he's farming up a storm. Actually, speaking of Yellow Star, he's gone towards the Aether Wisp. We'll see where he builds on towards that one. Of course, it looks like he's gonna go. I'm not sure which. We'll see where he goes with that. He's got a couple of different paths he could head off towards.
I will admit, could be Twin Shadows. Should probably be it.
It should be Twin Shadows, yeah.
I was just trying to make sure, yeah, it's the right items, yeah.
But you never know which way you could go with it.
No, but okay, so how do you counter stealth? You get Twin Shadows.
Well, we just did two Swords of the Occult and Meki Solstice in the previous game, so I'm not willing to bet on what the hell they're going to build.
No, but it's simply against Connect, so once he tries to engage onto them, you pop Twin Shadows, the Ghost hit him, slow him down, so he won't be able to jump onto you or get in range.
You also find him.
You also find him and you can just kill him if it is. So very smart item choice actually from Yellowstar here, and again, he's done dying. Leave Yellowstar alone. It's going to be a new slogan.
I'm happy with that. He's in my team. Not quite the same as Nif. Nevertheless, the bottom lane is continuing to be pushed in. 3 members of Fnatic, 4 members of Fnatic now moving up there with a cannon minion. Don't think they're going to go aggressive on this wave. Millenium move in defensive force because off at the side, Peke, he's just farming his wraiths. He's quite happy to not be bothered involved in his fight.
Let's see here. So Millenium, with the mid-game comp, not really been able to do too much. Still some kills on Kratos. He's of course very strong, but Reckless is kind of kick-starting his way into the late game already because he picked up some early kills. Blade of Druid King gonna be completed very soon, and he's gonna be very strong as well in this mid-game point.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin. He's got to be careful here.
It's fine, he has 24s now. He's ready. 1v5.
Not so sure on this. The key point here is Kevin getting caught out. We knew what he might do. Not going to be able to get away this time. Grasping Root, and Yellowstar gets the kill. Oh, Charm on Curve. They don't get follow through. Peke thought about it. There is a full 4 members still there defending and the turret. Death Center's not quite landing. Look at Yellowstar playing the defensive duties, throwing out those Grasping Roots. Next wave comes in, it could be that tower going down.
So we really see the issue with Aurelia right here. If you don't get a good start, if you don't get an early 24s into some tank items, it's very hard for you to do anything because you are so squishy. And yes, Kevin, he tried to flank around Fnatic here, but as soon as they caught him out of position, it was very easy for them to take him down. The rest of Millenium couldn't react in time. So the lane swap and the fact Kevin has died a few times has hurt him. And he's actually very far behind in CS if you compare it to the solo laners, or sorry, to the AD carry and mid laner.
It's a very tricky team for him to actually get in close to as well. Yeah. The Glitter Lance is very hard to chase in. You're going to run into a Charm potentially, or even just a slower or Grasping Root. He's going to get a giant wave of farm here. He's going to be happy with that. Question is, can he last out the game?
And also just the big difference between Lulu and Aurelia. The reason in Korea or in NA as well, they love Lulu so much is because even in a lane swap, if you fall behind, let's say you die 20 times.
You're still useful.
You're still very useful just because you bring so much utility to your team, and they don't necessarily need your damage anyway, so they just need your ulti, need your slows, your Whimsy is so good in the late game as well. Of course, don't die 20 times on Lulu guys back in solo queue, is not what I'm saying, but you will still be useful. Just don't try it.
Just don't feed the wind. It hasn't worked for former members of Gambit yet. At the moment, Fnatic wiping out, trying to push on towards that central turret. They're not really massively applying the pressure. I think they're hoping that Millenium will... Oh no, Curb caught out here. He's in trouble. He's going to take the lantern. That's it. Oh, the heal. Oh, the picks comes through for Soaz.
So they got a kill here. Whimsy as well from him, so Curb couldn't click the lantern in time, and then the very, very last little lantern. Now Fnatic can take the tower. Dragon as well. 12 seconds, easy for them, and just keep extending the lead.
They're going for the tower. They don't care about Dragon right now. They've got a wave coming in. Peke's pushing in. They're going to get the blue buff and the tower, and this is all just going well out of control. Suddenly, 1 death goes in, 1 pick comes out, and a massive stack of objectives all go Fnatic's way. That's going to turn the goal 3, 4, 5,000 plus in their favor, just from that one little play.
And while Kevin is pushing this top lane, Source already recalled. He can teleport to the tower and deny or at least stop Kevin from taking the tower. And also pick up a massive wave if he actually wants to. So not to use the teleport. Just gonna run there because Kevin actually left it to take the blue buff.
Blue buff will get taken away. That's something out of nothing, I guess. 4 out of 4 dragons though for Fnatic. They now have a big lead built up over Millenium and looking to secure that second spot. It was a good start for Millenium. Honestly, there were some good ganks from Cotnex being involved in everything that Millenium have done, but simply put, Peke. Oh, he's in trouble. Curve catches him out. No, he's got him, and that is the danger. If you let Curve get on you,
get dunked.
He will get dunked, yeah.
Holy. Well, life lesson learned. If a big fat man rushes into you, it hurts. I'm not telling you to try it on me, Lee.
Oh. Sorry, you skinny runt. So, back to the game. And any fat guys out there, don't start slamming me or whatever you do. Just a little bit of advice. Cottonex is going to get himself the red buff. Fnatic have grouped and they are pushing all 4 members of that mid lane. Peke has got teleport if he wants to get in there. The question is, are Millenium going to react to this one? They are. They're going to go on Yellow Star. Wild Growth used. Curb taken low. Cyanide chases on towards him. Stranglethorn doesn't catch on. Look, keep your eyes on Cottonex. He's trying to flank around the side. Cyanide caught up, hooked in there. Rekt is now caught out. Cottonex gets himself one. Can't get himself the second. Creator joins the fight. Rekt is taken so low. Teleport comes in. Kevin gets on towards Reckless. Have they got enough damage? Yes, they have. Captain Surprise will not get himself the kill. And that was a 3-for-1 for Millenium. They're turning to try and go Baron.
So Fnatic, they push up and the nice...
Oh,
you're dead.
Peke! He's got his own explosive charge. Oh my word! Peke just gets blown the hell up with the explosive Cask of Cup.
Destroyed here, Millenium. Getting the kills, will get the mid tower as well. Cup. Not done yet. Moving forward towards Source here.
They could go for a second tower here. Oh, the respawns.
Right.
Remember,
here.
we're only at 27 minutes. The respawns are pretty quick.
And this is again what the mid game can do for Millenium, because they have so good mid game champions. The burst potential of Corgi and of course of Kirby again. Going on Yellow Star here. Wild Growth pops, so he doesn't actually kill him, but still Cottonex. Notice up here to the left of your screen, he's stealthing in, jumping in. He's looking for Yellow Star, of course. Poor little Yellow Star. Instantly he dies, goes on to Reckless, creates and joins in from the side here. Xpeke is now teleporting from the bottom lane. He wasn't here from the start. Fnatic were pushing up without him. And now another kill for Millenium. And whilst Reckless will actually, while Xpeke will get a kill on Juri, we're just gonna see it again here. Kirby's gonna be like, nope, revenge is coming. Q into ult. Beautiful timing. Get dong.
So, well, this game is still very much alive. Dragon Timer, not even close. So, Millenium looking to try and make some plays. Fnatic, could they fall back to the old faithful, the Baron bait? I'm not sure it's going to work out. Millenium still very aggressive. And as both teams have proven, it's really about how this fight engages for either team. They started it.
Because Creaton was down his bottom lane, pushing it. He's very far away. There's still 4 members for Millenium. They might not be able to react in time.
Well, Creaton is making his way up here. Cottonex is stealthed up already. He's going to look to pounce in. He's running all around the side here. Is he going to try and start something else? Stealth's run out now. He wants to try and pounce on the bush, but he just gets destroyed. And Yellow Star gets revenge. Now you can see the rest of Millenium trying to come around. Baron picked up by Fnatic. They turn the aggression on towards Millenium. Kirk gets charmed down.
Whoa.
Oh, big explosive, but the Wild Growth pops up all 4 members of Millenium, and they're just getting melted down. Another pickup for Yellow Star. He finally goes down. Kevin taken low. He gets dropped. It's Reckless that gets himself the kill. J-Ree now the focus target. Reckless fancies it. Peke is not going to chase. And it is now a 3-for-2 in favor of Fnatic and the Baron. And it seems maybe the mid turret as well.
It was all about Creaton being in this bottom lane, pushing it, while Fnatic has sent all 5 members to the Baron. Creaton didn't move in time, so they started. Forced Millenium now to engage with only 4 members. And Cottonex, he's built a lot of damage here. So yes, he can kill you very fast, but if he doesn't actually get onto you, it's very easy to just blow Cottonex up. We're just gonna see the stealth already, pops the Ghost Blade to get in range of Soas, but doesn't really want to jump in because Wild Growth and everything. And now stealth is gone, Cottonex, you out of the fight, instantly dies.
Uh-oh, we're going back to it. Peke comes in, Creaton in trouble. Reckless on him, but he gets hooked in, still gets the kill. That's going to be J-Ree going down as well, flashes through. Reckless fancies it, ultimate going. Don't think he's quite got the range on that ulti. J-Ree should be safe, but Creaton down. Cottonex stealths up, he's coming in once again. Doesn't fancy it. Oh, he pounces in regardless. He's going to get locked up. Grasping root in there. Is it going to be enough? Cottonex taken down. Stranglethorn bounces him in the air, and Cottonex goes down to Yellow Star for the 3rd time straight. Revenge is a pill well sweet for Yellow Star.
And it was just one of those moments for Cottonex here, like, I already popped my ult, I have to jump in, there's no other choice, I can't really run away here. And he jumps in, kills himself actually, another kill for Yellow Star, of course. And there's so much action here, and credit to Cottonex for constantly popping his ult and looking for fights, but maybe should be a little bit more careful. especially because he's so squishy.
A needlessly large rod now for Yellow Star.
I mean, why not, dude?
I don't think he liked dying at the start, that's for sure. He's just like, no, that is not happening again. Forget your little support items. Reckless, you're on your own. Soaz can do that. Instead, he's going for it. Soaz continues to clear out the waves in that top lane, and
notice the wards.
Are starting to look very strong. Yeah, notice the wards. It is basically a closed-circuit TV system set up by Fnatic right now across the mid lane of the map.
They have had full control around Dragon and Baron, and every single time Millenium moved towards either Dragon or Baron, Fnatic would just say, okay, we know where you are, catch you out of position, get a kill. Now they just need to take all the wards and move them a bit further in, towards the base of Millenium. They're already doing it here. Good ward. Oh, hold on to Yellow Star.
Don't want.
Just to send a message.
Don't want at all. Kerp, can he explode someone? He needs to land the combo. Again, Cotnex. Guys, I can stealth. We got this. It worked so well at the start. Not quite working out anymore for him.
Do it, man. Be a man.
No, I don't think he fancies that. He's going to back off. But, well, Fnatic have also backed off. Dragon is up. That's where they're going. Timer is very much secured for them. They can shove up that mid lane while only needs really 1 or 2 members. Peke waiting with Soaz to pick somebody off in this top lane. Kevin. Ooh, doesn't quite get spotted. Soaz, oh, they're sneaking up. They're going for it.
Want a piece of Kevin.
Charm comes in. Kevin caught out. Wild Growth bounces him in the air. Flash comes out. Is it enough? No, it's not. Kevin will get away. He's gone. He's gone. He's home free. He gets it.
But that was so unfair. Kevin, he walked down to the golems. He started drinking water while killing the golems.
He was drinking
and then
water.
Fnatic just jumped onto him. He forced him to throw away the water bottle and escape. They had to flash away.
I fear for
and lost some water too.
I fear for the computer under that desk because I got a feeling that water bottle just
threw the water at him.
That water bottle took flight, that's for sure. But at least he was safe. It was worth it. Dragon went to Fnatic while that was all happening, and they're continuing to push this bottom lane, keeping that siege comp going. Kurt, yeah, he thought about it. He tried to snipe someone else. He's caught Peke before, but this time, Soaz and Peke. This is the old roaming combo. They always went looking for the kills. This time around, of course, 2 ability power champions.
Kerp doesn't do the same thing as Kevin, a little bit too far out. Kevin, however, is now down this bottom lane, playing some minions, and might actually look for a fight. Never mind.
Thought about it. Well, they know that the 2 are in the top lane.
It's all about this 2.
Give them vision. These 2 are continuing to try and cause problems.
You do see Horning Geist on Kerp though, so he's really putting all his effort now into this Gragas and just, the charm.
Charmed. He didn't see him though. He didn't know he was there. He came out of the bush really late. Explosive satchel puts him in there. Manages to dash away with the flash. Cotnex now. Cotnex charmed him once again. Is it going to be enough? There's Sonya's hourglass. Cotnex flashes away. The lantern's there again. Peke gets blown up by Kraton. Now the rest of Fnatic come around the side. Finally, we do see Yellowstar going down. The passive comes out. J-Reed taken low. I don't think he's going to get away this time around. It's Reckless good enough. Gets himself a triple kill. Chases on through and Kraton. You're not going to be able to flutter your way through the base this time around. But Cotnex is back. This is maybe not the choice you want. It is going to be Reckless again. Just drilling down his health. Oh, this game is very much alive and well. 17 to 14 kills. Fnatic are going to back away once again.
Constant action. You're just going to see it again. Charm onto Kerp and expect here. Just waiting to see how many people are actually waiting in this bush here. He's too experienced with waiting in this bush to catch people out of position. Once he sees it's on the curb, goes in for it. Poor Cotnex. I mean, he just wants to help. He just wants to be part of it. And then he's the target. He doesn't actually die because there's going to be a lantern from Diri. And now they get a kill onto Becky here for Kraton. Another one on his Corki. Yellow Star joins in. Kevin behind him. He's dead. But now Reckless. Untouched on this Kokmar here. This goes in. Boop. 1 kill. Let's get a second one. How about a triple kill? Yeah, sure. I would like it. In the base at the same time, Cotnex bought home guards, popped his ult instantly. And again, you have to go in. Once you pop it, there's no other choice. Even though it might kill you.
Not worth, that's for sure. So, Baron, it's up in 40 seconds time. We've talked about how these 2 teams like to fight, and fighting is indeed what they've been doing for the last 35 minutes.
Can we get a doctor in here?
I think someone's dying in the front row right now. Millenium are looking to try to create something to get themselves back in this one. It's in danger of slipping out of their hands. It's a 12,000 gold diff advantage, but you wouldn't feel that the amount of times these fights have been going. Baron is up in 10 seconds time. This time around, Kevin, he's pushing down the bottom lane. He's got teleport, so he's not going to get caught out like they were before. As long as they put a ward in a relatively safe position for him, right now they've not got one for him to teleport to. Baron started. They're going for it.
Going down very, very fast here.
Stealth popped again. Here we go. Cornex is going in. He's going to go in. There's no vision. Finally goes in. Get the smite. Yeah! He gets with the Baron instead. And he gets out tape with the lantern.
No way!
God, no!
Yellow Star.
Yellow Star again. Revenge is very much sweet for him, that's for sure.
Didn't even have to use teleport from Kevin here. This curb jump, or curb not even jumping in. Still, so Connex will go in. He didn't actually smite. Let's see where the smite is from Cyanide. Didn't have time to use it either. Just so combo from Curb.
Yeah, and that nearly killed Soaz in one. That was so very, very close, as well as getting
Really
the Baron.
hurts.
The shield just, not quite enough to stop him. Maybe a couple of defensive stats. That's
It's just
kind of what he needs.
It's prime time for Gragas at the moment. You're so strong here. Give it another 15-20 minutes. Curb might not be able to do the same. Once they can get some magic resist on the side of Fnatic here, some more, I could say. A lot of actually, they don't really have anything. Very squishy, man.
Yeah, they're all going for.
Okay, they got Banshees here.
Sonya's Hourglass was actually picked up by Yellow Star. We'll see if he gets to use it next time around. So everybody, okay, let's take stock. Let's slow down. We've got a little break here. Make a little pause. Let's take a stock of the situation, the items, everything that's going on, and let's not forget. There is a 926 Cogwall sneakily going about his business right now for Reckless.
Yeah, every time he actually joins in for the fights, suddenly Fnatic just kill everyone. But the same can still be said about Creaton. I mean, yes, okay, he only has 4 kills, but still, he does a lot of damage on his Corgi. No Last Whisper for him. Same for Reckless here, but we've seen the math on Reddit. You don't actually need Last Whisper on a Corkmore here because you have so much magic damage already, and attack speed is so important because you just want to hit as many times as possible with your W procced and you play the Ruin King. So he's not actually going to go Last Whisper. I wonder if Creaton wants to do it. Corgi, of course, also has some magic damage, so Last Whisper not as ideal for him either.
Millenium haven't got vision of Fnatic here, and in fact they are just pushing up the mid lane. Fnatic slow to respond to this one, maybe caught out of position here. Millenium maybe I'll just rush in and tank this one out. Kevin's going to try and start it out. Creaton needs to get a couple of hits on towards that tower. The rest of Fnatic now reacted. Peke comes around, tries to get on towards him. Cyanide tried to flank around the side but got spotted out. And they will safely defend the tower.
For now, at least. The top lane is actually pushing towards Millenium. Nobody decided to slow push it. We do see Twin Shadows popped. Spooky Ghost. It's Jerry, and he's like, yeah, who cares? Maybe they were trying to spot Cotnex. I'm not sure why.
Well, it wasn't stealth this time. They're going to go for Dragon. This could be their first Dragon of the game. Can they work it out? Meanwhile, Fnatic, they may just shove straight at the mid lane.
They can go to top lane here.
Kevin's out of position here. Yeah, Kevin's out of position. He's actually trailing them back. And Fnatic are, as you mentioned, moving straight towards that top tower. They're going to get it. There's no way Millenium can react quick enough for this.
No, it's only Kevin up here. The rest of the team recalling. It should be a tower for Fnatic. They do have home guards, so they're trying to rush it. Right, they don't even need the big minion wave. They just want a tower.
Yeah, it's going to go straight in and tank it. Tower goes down. Fnatic back out. 6-3 in turrets. Big advantage. All of the outer turrets now down, and it's inhib time. The problem is, Millenium do have good wave clear.
They do. They do, both Corgi and Gragas, and also Kevin if he decides to use his ulti. So a lot of options here. Still, we're so far into the game, and with the way we've seen Xpeke play on Ahri, one charm, and Fnatic might even go for tower dive.
Reckless wants to get down towards that bottom tower. Look at it. We see Cornex actually is the one that's heading down there. Somebody's going to have to deal with that big wave. It's going to be Soaz. He's heading off down there. That's going to free up one possibility. Millenium, they're going to have a 5-on-4 situation in this mid lane turret for a moment while Soaz covers off. And that's going to buy them time. They may just get a couple of free shots on this. They're going to take the inner turret.
Getting a tower here. Soldier down his bottom lane. Still in the team fights, I would actually have loved to see Connex build tank on his Rengar instead, because you have Irelia who does decent amount of damage for a top laner already. And then you have Corgi and Gragas as the main damage dealers. And then you could jump in, you could get the knock up from Yellow Star, and you could actually stay alive. Every single team fight we've seen, it's Connex jumps in, gets knocked up by Yellow Star, and then Reckless just destroys him instantly, or Xpeke destroys him instantly. So I've been working out for him with this assassin build on Rengar.
Yeah, you need to curtail his aggression a little bit, I feel, as they goes rushing
the fail flare
into the teams. No, he didn't complete it.
Oh?
Didn't choose to, I guess. Just going to sit on that Wriggles.
Okay.
It's on the Wriggles, on the Madrids.
On the Madrid, yeah.
So
Probably has a lot of stacks by now.
Banshee's Veilscan start to be picked up. They're actually pretty important for both teams. We've seen, of course, Kerp sniping out. Not going to be able to quite do that anymore. Or shouldn't be able to do that anymore. Still possibility. DFG, I feel maybe is going to get picked up next.
He definitely still has the burst potential at this point in the game, but it gets so hard for him, especially with the Banshees, because you need your Q and ulti to hit.
Fnatic are out of position. Millennium are just rushing straight up mid. They're going to get around the side. Yeah, they're well out of position. They could rush straight for the inhib turret here.
Could be a tower at least. I mean, if Fnatic wants to fight, it's going to be without Reckless, the most fed guy on the team. Seems though Millennium, because they don't have any
vision,
wards, any vision to actually see where Reckless is, backs away as soon as Fnatic reacts. So could be about the next Baron spawning. 1 minute and 25 seconds. Let's see. It's already been pinged by Fnatic. They've had very nice ward control in this game around Baron and Dragon, and seem to be moving in once again. There's a pink ward on Yellow Star. Get control of the area and then wait for Millennium to move in.
Fnatic, no, there's not going to be time. That's what I was going to say. I thought they were going to rush into Baron. It's not for a minute. We did see Kraton backing off. They had full vision of that one. Somebody's going to have to deal with that bottom wave. That's going to be pushed in for Fnatic just at the right time for when Baron spawns. Kevin's already going down there to deal with that one and just try and shove it back in Millennium's favor. That 10,000 gold advantage, or 11,000 currently, that Fnatic hold, it's starting to become less and less, because at this stage, everybody's already got big, gigantic numbers of items.
Very, very true. We do actually see also Fnatic, they have a lot of gold at the moment, so they need to time this correct, where they go back to base and return before the Dragon spawn, or Baron spawns. Reckless is sitting on like 2,500 gold at the moment, 2,300. Didn't actually go back yet. Probably waiting till he has enough gold for a Bloodthirster, which means he might have a lot of gold for the potential teamfight around Baron.
They really want a pick here. It's not going to work out for them though. Nobody from Millennium is blindly going into it. You can see they're moving as a unit, moving as a 5. Connex is just going to
jump that wall.
We are aggressive on that wall.
Finally killed someone.
Oh, wards go down, Baron spawns, perfect timing. They don't want to risk it this time. Of course, it was Millennium that stole it away last time around with an explosive cask, and Fnatic do not want to risk that again, but they seem a little bit lost as to how to make the next move. They really just want to find a pick and push for it. That seems to be their only option right now.
Yeah, but it is very scary when you're against a lineup who has so much damage. I mean, one misstep by Fnatic, one member who gets out of position, and Kerp or Kraton will destroy them instantly. Even Connex, while he's squishy, he has a lot of damage at the moment. We do actually see also Source now going like full support top laner, picking up the Mikhails to make sure they do have it to cleanse whatever CC comes in from Millennium. They might actually look for a fight here.
Ooh, they're going to try and go for it, but doesn't even get the Banshee's Veil spot. That will poke out. J-Re blocks Kevin's off there. Now we'll come up pretty quickly though. Kerp did just go up and quickly barrel the top wave. That's going to slow it, and actually it's pretty much even in the favor. They do know that Kerp is there. That's a risky play. Charm could finish him.
The worst thing is, Fnatic, they can't really just start the Baron because Kerp can still steal it with the Q ulti combo we saw earlier, where Sana didn't even have a chance to try and smite it, just instantly destroyed the Baron. They might do it if they spot Millennium recall, and look here.
I think
Kerp actually started recalling.
No, it's not. It's not their ward. It's alright.
They're moving in again. They have a ward.
Yep. We've got coverage on the back there. Yellow Star surely can see it. They're going for it. They're going to try and snipe it. They're going to move in around the side there. Barrels come in. This time around, Fnatic try and peel. But it's going to be Cyanide. He hooked in there. J-Re, it's going to be enough. He gets taken down. Connex jumps in towards him. Reckless gets himself 1 kill. Soaz comes in. Kevin gets melted down. Millennium are just dropping like flies here. You can see the Charm comes across towards him. Kerp getting chased down. Pekka captures on towards him. He's not got the health to sustain this one. Throws out the barrel. Reckless gets himself another kill and goes godlike. And Fnatic easily clean up there. That was a quick, clean peel. It worked well.
And it was such a bad team fight by Millennium. They didn't know how to engage it. Kraton did no damage in the fight. Kerp didn't even use his ulti before. After the fight here, they couldn't get in, couldn't hit the right members from Fnatic, and everyone just died so fast. And it should be the game now.
This should be the game. 40-second death timers. Millennium in all sorts of trouble. I don't think Kraton could do anything about this one. Fnatic will hold on to second place and take victory over third place Millennium. It is a loss, and that means it's now 4th place Millennium. There's the kill. It's another one for Yellow Star. 6-5-11 for him. Nexus turret goes down. Fnatic take victory over Millennium.
All right, okay. Good performance by Fnatic here, really showing Millenium, especially in the last team fight, how it works around the Baron area. First of all, always the better ward control, Fnatic. Forcing Millenium into a bad situation, a bad engage, and the very last team fight here. Great ulti from Yellowstar, knocked up multiple members from Millenium, and none of them could actually get in to the backline, get to Reckless, get to Pekka, Sentiment. Fnatic took the fight and took the game as well, but there was so much action here.
Yeah, that was 23-14 overall kills, of course. So 37 over the 45 minutes. We did have that slight lull once the both teams realized just the sheer danger of the situation. It's like one lost fight, the game is over. They knew it. They knew that was becoming a problem. Once they saw Curb starting to one-pop people, suddenly the realization dawned on Fnatic that they can't maybe go so quite wild as they were at the start, starting to make some picks. But Millenium, they've proved that they are still one of the top teams in Europe.
They are, and the play style is just so entertaining to watch because even when they're 10,000 gold behind, it doesn't matter. Let's go, try and fight, try and get a pick here, try and steal the Baron as well. You could have seen other teams back away from the Baron.
It's scary for teams.
Just wait in the base and say, we have good wave clear, give the Baron over. No, just move in here. Curb stole the first one. Codnex constantly looked for engages, maybe a little bit too often. But still, they wanted to fight. They knew, okay, we have this mid-game come to just find targets, just blow them up, and we need to do it. Because if we go too late game, like we saw in the last team fight, it's very hard for us to do anything, and Fnatic won the game. But it was very, very good game here. A lot of action, a lot of kills. And damn, Yellowstar, don't kill him 2 times early, because he will destroy you.
Yeah, he got angry. So 9 wins in 10 games for Fnatic. Overall, very good scorecard for them.
I would say decent.
Yeah, very good scorecard for them overall. They are peaking at the right time, but that's possibly a little warning signal for them. Of course, the loss to Fnatic was to Alliance yesterday, sorry, was actually a similar style game without the kills, but tactically, it was very similar.
And it's just weird to see Fnatic yesterday compared to today, because yesterday they were afraid to engage. They didn't want to fight. They were just moving around the map. They took a tower, gave Dragon to Alliance, said, fair enough, we trade tower for Dragon, and just constantly dodged around Alliance. In this game, however, it was more about, okay, let's find some kills here. Especially Xpeke and Soaz together up in his top lane. They were there for like 10 minutes just looking for kills. First, Kevin had to throw away his water. Poor Kevin here. And then it was Curb afterwards, killed him, or actually tried to kill him, but at least got a tower, got in to get a triple kill for Reckless in the very end. So
I wonder how many people at home have been in similar situations. I'm just going back to base, guys. Oh, just have a quick drink. Panic. Quickly throw everything away. So, fantastic performance. Fnatic now second in the table. Continuing to chase Alliance, they can chase down that first spot in Super Week. Everything now on Super Week is all about the playoff spots. We're going to be getting to that. That's, of course, next week. For now, though, we want to hear from the main man from Fnatic. It is Peke standing by with Shocks and Quickshot.
Thank you very much, G-Man. First off, congratulations, Peke. Great victory here for you guys versus Millenium. I want to ask, of course, first about the Ahri pick, because I feel like maybe yesterday you were pushed kind of to the edges of your champion pool with all the mid lane bans and then the picks coming in. Did you feel like you had to pick Ahri up here?
I didn't feel like I had to pick her, but I felt really confident on her, that it suited me more. The options, there were not many options because they are banning like Syndra, for example, is always banning a good champion I like to play because even though you can farm with her, she can be really aggressive. And the Fizz as well is the same thing, so I didn't have many options. It was either pick a farmer or pick Ahri, so I decided to go for Ahri. They let me pick her even though we didn't play her that much, and it worked out kind of fine.
It did work out. This was one extremely exciting match. It swung back and forth, but you guys tended to hold control of the gold lead or presence on the map. Was there any time when you felt like, oh, if we lose one more fight, Millenium are going to take control? Did you get panicky at any points?
We didn't panic, but when they took the Baron, instantly when they took it, we realized like, oh, we should just stay at the Baron and wait until they waste the Rengar ulti and then do it. But we didn't, they got Baron and we didn't panic. We were like, it's okay, just try to not let them get anything for free, and we didn't. They only got Drake, but we took top turret. So that was perfect, and it was like, okay, we can go again from the beginning for the next Baron, if we don't lose anything else.
One final thing maybe about the game, the Gragas, it almost reminded me of the pre-changes Gragas, because mid-game, that was really the most annoying thing I can imagine for you guys. How did you work around that?
Yeah, it was really scary. He went Rabadon first item, and then Morello, which gave a lot of FP and Void stuff, so he was pretty much almost like the old Gragas. Even more, if he hit you with the W, he hurts more than the old Gragas. So it was really scary. We just knew that we had to take care of him, because no one else was really a threat. Rengar was just going in and snaring, doing nothing else. He couldn't really kill someone or tank any damage. So what we had to do with Lulu and Syra, it was perfect. Just put the ultimate when Rengar goes in, one shot the Rengar, then Irelia, and Gragas, I think in the fights, 1 or 2 fights, Gragas couldn't ulti or Q because he was all the time a snare, slow, then charm or going up in the air with Syra ultimate. So that's how we had to play, and it was really good.
Well, it definitely worked out in this game. Coordinated, controlled, aggressive team fights. You were present on the map. You were making plays. Why did you not do that against Alliance yesterday?
I don't know. We were maybe sleepy, scared or something. I don't know. It felt a lot different. We were playing fine, but at some point we were too scared. Like the opposite of today. Today, for example, for me, I was just trying to go in whenever I saw a chance. I just wanted to see how far could I go, because we had Lulu, we had Syra, and I had Thonias, so I know if I go deep and they wait to kill me after Thonias, my team is going to clean them. So this time I was like, I'm just going to get when I can. I think Cyanide tried to engage a lot with Evelyn as well. So it was a lot, I think we learned from yesterday that we cannot be scared all the time and wait for their mistake, because if they don't do a mistake, then we're just going to slowly lose. So sometimes we have to try to take a small risk at least.
Have you had a chance to watch the VOD back from yesterday and look at the game?
Yeah, we watched, not all of it, but I watched a few parts. I think we'll...
So I've got a question that stands out, because Joe and I were casting the game. And at the 30 to 40 minute mark, you guys were hanging around in the river. Bush is just on the top half of the map, and Cyanide was sitting by the Wraith camp. Did you guys know that Tabs was not with Alliance? It looked like you wanted to engage. It looked like you were trying to, but again, it was hesitation, it was waiting.
Yeah, I'm not
if
sure
you remember,
which point
would you think that was a mistake, not going in?
I'm not sure at which point it was that. Like, I cannot remember every situation, but I don't know if we knew he was there or not. But anyways, I think we should have tried to engage way more often. That was a mistake that we all talk about. Like, we should have tried, because they had Kolma, which is a really mobile champion, and we were never trying to force his flash at all. We could just try, like Jarvan could try to EQ ultimate the guy, flash away, and then Jinx and I ultimate him, and he's going to have to flash or he will die. And we never tried that. We just let them have flash up all the time, push, and then never use it, and that was really bad.
So obviously yesterday you had that loss coming versus Alliance, the first place team, which I think can be a huge dent in the confidence going into the rest of the season. How do you not fall into that pattern that you guys have done before? You have a winning streak, you have one loss, and you can't get back into it. Do you feel that this is crucial, that you were able to pick it up in this kind of a game the day after?
Yes and no. We didn't feel like we didn't know what happened yesterday. Like the other times when we lost in the past, it was more like, we don't know why we lost. Like, it stopped working. We didn't win. We don't know why. But this time we knew what we did wrong, what we could have done better, all the mistakes. So it's a lot easier when you know what you did wrong, what you had to do better the next day. So it didn't feel that panicked.
Well, just one more question regarding looking forward now. Fnatic is guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. You are not guaranteed second, with 4 more games still to play out. It's going to be very difficult for you to take first off of Alliance. I believe if you go 5-0 and they go 3-2, you still don't take it, I believe. So, where is Fnatic's focus now over the weekend and Monday? Are you looking at Super Week games, or are you planning further ahead, potentially quarterfinals or semifinals?
I think we're looking at the Super Week and then semifinals. That will be the aim we have. Like, we just have to win. Like you said, we almost have second spot. We have to win 2 games, I think, and it's almost secured. So we have to focus on Super Week, at least on winning not the easy matchup, but the ones that we should not lose. We should focus on those, not make mistakes, and at least get those wins. And in case we lose versus the other teams, we have the second spot secured.
Maybe a quick finisher. After winning the splits 3 times in a row, is this the most threatened you have ever felt in the league, that you might not win it this time around?
The most threatened?
The most threatened, the most in fear of not winning it this time around after winning it 3 times straight?
No. I think last year was worse when we ended up, almost from relegations, we went to second place in 1 week. So I think that was even worse, because we were tied for 6th place or 5th place, and suddenly we won 2 games, we got tied for 2nd place, and then we
That was the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, and then we got all tiebreaker, and we managed to win that against 2nd place and then go win Gamescom. So that was way more scary.
7 or 8 games extra at the end of a Super Week. Let's go next week as well.
So expect it 100% sure you're going to win the split?
If you want to win the split, of course we want to win the split.
If you're going to win the split?
If you're going to win the split, we will see about that. I think so. I think we will.
That's what I wanted to hear. A lot of confidence coming out. It's going to be a great battle. Now let's rejoin Demon and the Future for a look at where the teams stand at the end of week 10.
Thank you very much, Shocks. With just 16 games left in the split, here is how the table looks. In the top, it is Alliance. They have been at first place every single week this split, and that hasn't changed. They still control the top and show no signs of stopping. Fnatic are right behind them though after that win in our last match, and behind them are the Super Hot crew now who have sole control of 3rd place.
Yeah, because Millenium, they've slipped down to 4th place, and SK Gaming are right in the middle in 5th place with 12 wins and 12 losses. And one match behind them is Rocket, who had an uneven week, but they are still the team to beat for that 6th place position, as the Copenhagen Wolves can only hope now to match their record and force a tiebreaker.
And every week we like to look at the teams. It is time for us to put together our own all-star team for week 10. Here are our OP players of the week. So, top lane, starting off, it is Freddy. Freddy122, he has been in Italy both games and performed fantastically.
Such a good Italy game. He played it as well last week, and he dominated on it. Good laning phase, picks up a lot of kills, and it was just very important for SK Gaming to get a win now. Freddy definitely helped.
Yeah, absolutely. The shot caller, of course, turning things around finally for SK Gaming, picking up their first win in 6. Next up, the jungle, Cotnex. He has played fantastically well. Cotnex, of course, over on Lee Sin. Not quite so much for his Rengar, but definitely for his Lee Sin.
His Lee Sin performance yesterday was very strong. We're just going to see a clip here how he actually kicks Broken Shot away, goes back in, steals the Baron. It's just so well done because it's so fast. He puts the Q onto Baron, kicks Broken Shot, and then he jumps back in, gets it. And his Lee Sin performance yesterday was great. Rengar today still needs some work. Good start. Team fights, not so much.
Definitely needs work. Well, the mid lane, well, no surprises here for me. It was Selfie, of course. 17 kills as Ari, the most this week. You know, we talked about, you know, should it be a ban? Maybe it should be another ban from Selfie.
Yeah, he looked so good, and we always talk about with Selfie how he's a very, very good player. He just makes some wrong decisions from time to time. This week, however, he didn't do it. Picks up here a double kill, which really turned the game around against Gambit. And as long as he performs, Super Hot crew win games.
Fantastic stuff. Alongside him for Millenium was Creaton on Corki. He has incredible stats right now. 14-3-11 just in these 2 games. Overall, he's plus 40 kills on Corki in just 5 games.
Really been his new main champion here. And yes, they lost to Fnatic, but he still had a very good performance. And just racking up the kills from yesterday's game against Copenhagen Wolves. And it's just a pick which really fits Millenium. Mid-game power, let's go for it.
Well, it's the escape as well, the maneuverability of that Valkyrie. Of course, the support, who else would it be? It's the man from Alliance. He broke his 1,000 regular season assist, just chasing hard behind Team Curse's X Special, of course. Fantastic stuff from Nif, you know, 0-0-22 in that final game today.
And it's just, Nif is such a good support, also because he doesn't draw any attention. Like, he will always be there with the team. He will always set up a lot of kills for everyone, but you don't actually yell at, oh my god, Nif, with the massive plays again. But he's just always part of everything, so great performance.
I remember being with the team while Froggen talked about Yellowstar. It's like, no, he's probably the best support in Thingweb. Nif's like, really? 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 Right here. But yeah, absolutely proving his worth. Of course, we have an MVP every week, and this week we've decided week 10's action is all about Super Hot Crew's Selfie in that mid lane. Fantastic performance from him this week.
Yeah, when you carry 2 games on Ari, you deserve to get the MVP. And he's so important for Super Hot Crew. We always talk about it. He needs to go into Super Week now, and he needs to perform like he's doing now. And then maybe Super Hot Crew can actually get towards the 2nd place. Will be very hard, however.
Now to highlight Selfie's gameplay on the Nine-Tailed Fox, we have a clip of him diving SK's Candy Panda under the bottom inhibitor turret and blowing him up.
Selfie continues to split push off Candy Panda. Oh, he's going to get no one. There is the kill. And that's what happens.
Well, flash charge. That was a great play.
That's what happened, man.
That is indeed what happens. You know, when you're that fed, it just feels so comfortable for you. And a very, very happy Selfie there was be very pleased with himself because he's been looking for a new champion and he seems to have found it.
Could be a ban next week. Also against Fnatic. We have seen a lot of Ari coming up. Small buffy in 4.12. The mid laners really seem to like it.
Yeah. Well, the LCS action will be continuing tomorrow in North America with a bout between LMQ and Complexity. That will be followed by Team Solo Mid taking on the Evil Geniuses.
And then we'll see Cloud9 against Dignitas and Counter Logic Gaming against Curse. And tomorrow's North American Challenger Series semifinals has Team Coast taking on Team 8 in a best of 3. And those matches, they start on Saturday at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime, 12 noon Pacific.
And remember, of course, to join us next Tuesday as our Super Week gets underway on July 29th for the start of the final week. This split. Gambit going to be facing off Copenhagen Wolves. It's a big game for them to start with. And then it's going to be Alliance versus Rocket. That will be followed by the Wolves, who will square off against Fnatic.
And after that, we have SK Gaming against Millenium. And then our featured matchup of the day, Super Hot Crew taking on Fnatic.
And that all begins on Tuesday, right after the LCS preview show at 4:30 p.m. Central European Summertime, which is, of course, a very early 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Now, of course, it is time to send it over to the European Challenger Series semi-finals as Alex Itch's Ninjas in Pajamas will fight Ocelot on Gamers 2 for a spot in the Summer Series to take on SK Gaming Prime in the final next week. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Week 10 of the European League of Legends Championship Series.
Clap, clap.
Genji's in trouble. Milo teleports in towards it. Eddie going down as well. He gets caught out. Diamond gets taken down.
I'll be ready. Yeah. Guys?
Always ready, dude.
Tries to get away, gets stunned up. Freddy pounces through, gets himself the kill. Vanna now locked in there. He's going to get stunned out. One more basic attack will be enough. There it is. Freddy gets on towards it. He gets himself the double. Flash in now, pulverized down. They don't get enough down. Soren's in trouble. He gets caught out. Broken Shark gets down. And it is Wicked that is picking up all of the kills.
Look for a booger, look for a booger, look for a booger.
But it's going to be Cyanide. He hooked in there. J-Ree is going to be enough. He gets taken down. Connex jumps in towards him. Reckless gets himself one kill. Soaz comes in. Kevin gets melted down. Millenium are just dropping like flies here.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 2014 European Challenger Series, brought to you thanks in part to our friends at Coca-Cola. I'm David Victorly. Alongside me is the wonderful, illustrious, and always amazing Aiden Zyrene Moon. How's it going?
Going pretty well after that, man.